Wow. Just wow. This series is freaking amazing. What is up, everyone? Barricade here, and bringing you guys my review of Dragon Ball Super Episode 22. And I just have to say that this series is so amazing. I really, really love what they're doing with it. Like, the movie Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F was great. I'm not going to say that it isn't. It was an awesome movie. I had a great time seeing it in the theaters, and it was an amazing story. But Super just takes it and completely expands it in a so much better way. In the movie, it kind of just went straight to Goku fighting Frieza, and it wasn't like really too much of a build up. Like, I mean, it was pretty cool, but there wasn't really too much of a build up or anything, and they'd explain the God form or anything like that. Just out of nowhere, Goku's a Super Saiyan, God Super Saiyan, and he was fighting Golden Frieza, and the movie was awesome, but it was kind of just simple and not really in depth on what was actually going on. Whereas Super completely flips this and adds like a bunch of extra things to it. I liked how what they did with Tagoma. In the movie, Frieza just kills him in 2 seconds and that guy's gone. That's it. Nothing. He's just was just a character that they just had in there just to have so he can die in 2 seconds. Well, in this one, they decided to make him that he's extremely overpowered. He trained and pretty much became like around, I'm guessing, like Sal level or something, because if he's able to take on Piccolo and like, fight Gohan and them, he's obviously like far beyond like a normal Super Saiyan. This guy is like really powerful to take on someone like Piccolo, especially. And for him to just sit there and take a punch from Piccolo and then rip his arm off like he's nothing and then continue to kick all of their asses like, like nothing, then this guy is freaking strong. And it's funny how they gave him such a build up and like they showed how much he trained. And then out of nowhere they just freaking have his whole character just thrown away by Captain Ginyu. That whole entire little thing, when Gotenks comes out of nowhere and basically hits him in the nuts by flying into him head on. And then he's sitting there like in pain, and that looked freaking hilarious too. And he's just like laying there freaking holding himself because he's all freaking dying. And then freaking Ginyu comes out of nowhere, a little frog, writes change, the word change on the ground. And I guess for whatever reason, it doesn't matter who exactly says it, I guess, as long as the word change is said, Ginyu can take your body. And he freaking takes the dude's body, and now it's freaking Ginyu in Taguma's body, doing his stupid little poses again. And that one pose he made, like his happy pose or whatever he made for being revived, was so freaking stupid. Just the way he's like laying like backwards on his back, holding himself up with his legs wide open. Like, really, Ginyu? Like, come on, dude. Your poses have always been so freaking awkward, and then you just freaking take it to a whole new level. I just thought that whole little part was freaking hilarious and awesome at the same time. And then we see him fighting Gohan, and then Gohan turns into a Super Saiyan and actually outmatches him. So in a way, that shows that Gohan is actually pretty powerful. Here's this guy who's able to basically own Piccolo, and even though Gohan's been out of training for so long and can barely even hold the form of a Super Saiyan, he's still stronger than Piccolo, and Piccolo isn't a weakling. I don't even think he's even been out of training, honestly. I've never really seen the Piccolo to be the type of character to become lazy or anything and relaxed. Piccolo's still a fighter, even though honestly he's not really comparable to someone like Goku and Vegeta now. But he's still a fighter. He still trains, and he's not a weakling. And even though he's basically always in fighting and fighting form, Gohan is still more powerful than he is, which is still kind of a impressive thing for Gohan to be. Everyone gives Gohan so much flack for not training, becoming a weakling, etc., etc. And while it does suck, Gohan is my favorite character, and it does suck that he's not a fighter anymore. He's still strong, and he's still capable of taking on these enemies, even though he's basically a nerd at this point who doesn't do anything. And I actually really hope that he does start training again and eventually start fighting, but honestly, I'm pretty sure he won't. In the Dragon Ball Super manga, in the newest chapter, they have basically the next arc after the Resurrection F is that they are going to have a tournament against fighters from another universe, and Vegeta basically suggests Gohan, and Goku's like, no way, Gohan's a bookworm now. He doesn't fight. He even lost his gi, his fighting uniform, and which is true, but even Vegeta admitted that Gohan has the most potential than any of them. He has the most highest potential to become the strongest fighter. It's just that Gohan just doesn't fight, which sucks. And I really hope, I kind of wish something would happen. You know, maybe they change their mind. Maybe they get Gohan to train, and he's able to train other Whis and go basically become like a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan or something. But even though that's like my dream. I know it's not gonna happen. But overall, even though he is a nerd and everything, he's still capable of keeping up. He's not like a complete Yamcha like everyone says. And then the thing that was cool was while he's fighting Ginyu, he pretty much pulls like a Goku and Frieza thing where he says, you know, the fight's over, you know, just leave. And then Frieza gets pissed off. He starts torturing Gohan by shooting laser beams in his body and like shoots him through his arm, his leg, his stomach, and everything. And while this show is awesome, one thing I just want to say is I wish it was a little bit more gory, just like a tiny bit more gory, like show some blood at least, because Dragon Ball Z was actually pretty gory overall. You know, you see they'll do like crazy things that blow people in half. You know, Frieza gets chopped in half. You know, go like the Namekians and stuff lose their arms, and it looks all intense and bloody. And Goku would get like a hole blasted through his chest, and blood would be splurting out of his mouth and his chest and everything. And like even though Gohan's kind of suffering these same type of injuries, he just has like a hole through his chest, and that's it. There's like no blood. And I don't know if it's because they're trying to like censor it or something, or maybe they're gonna add it later on in like a more uncut version. But I really hope that later on they kind of tune up the gore. Like it doesn't have to be intense, like crazy showing intestines or anything, but just like have a little blood or something. It doesn't make sense. Like Gohan has a freaking hole through his gut and there's like literally no blood. It's just kind of weird. And then obviously the show ends where he's gonna basically kill Gohan, shoots a blast right at him while he's hurt. And then Piccolo once again pulls a freaking Saiyan Saga, jumps in the way, takes a freaking blast to the chest, and you know he's pretty sure he's gonna die or at least get really close to dying. And you know that's where the episode ends. And then the next preview shows that Gohan's pretty much like trying to hold off everyone and trying to fight everyone pretty much by himself and trying to hold off them so Goku and Vegeta could arrive. And you gotta give Gohan some credit. Honestly, you gotta give Gohan some credit because everyone gives him flack and says he's a Yamcha now and all that. But he's standing up to them. He's standing up to these freaking crazy, overpowered, you know, characters like Tagoma slash Ginyu at this point, and he's pretty much Earth's only hope while Goku and Vegeta are off training. And speaking of the training, the last thing I actually want to talk about real quick is that Goku stated that the place that they're in while they're training is like another version of like the hyperbolic time chamber. They, you know, time elapses at a slower rate. They're in a completely weird dimension and everything like that. So it's pretty much like a hyperbolic time chamber 2.0. And this is going to be pretty cool because up to this point, they haven't become Super Saiyan God Super Saiyans. So this training area, this, you know, hyperbolic time chamber 2.0 is pretty much the reason why they're going to become Super Saiyan God Super Saiyans. You know, they're going to explain it. They're going to show how it happened, which is going to be freaking cool. And I really just can't wait, you know, for the next few episodes. This series is amazing. Expanded the whole Resurrection F arc so much more than what the movie showed, and added so many extra things, like by having gold tanks in it, even though he was only in it for like 2 seconds, and then having Captain Ginyu revived, and having like Piccolo pretty much almost die, and it's cool. I really love it so far. I'm really liking this series. Well, anyways, guys, if you guys like this video, please definitely hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me what you guys think about the newest episode of Dragon Ball Super. Overall, I thought it was amazing, and I love what they're doing with the series. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and take it easy. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see my most recent Gears of War video, hit that link on the left. If you want to see my most recent Dragon Ball video, hit that link on the right. Thanks for watching, guys.